R.I.P. Best to have the memories, though. Best not to forget why we were all there. Okay, that's enough of that, I think. And that. Yes, that was Burn the Owl, as Mike named him. But I just thought they would show that in honor of his... Yes, King Strem. That's actually just part of the reason, the other part being... There was a game I wanted to show tonight, but I can't find it all of a sudden. Well, I mean, I can't find the game, but there's really two versions. And the version I wanted to show first, that's the one I can't find. Might have to re-download it. Unless I can find it, which I aim to, but I can't seem to. Maybe it's in the download record. As unlikely as that might seem. Where is this? Oh, of course. There it is. Why did I put it there? I don't think I expected to find it there, but... Well, I found the game, I suppose. That can only be good news. Now to see if I can get it in a window. And might as well check to see who's here. So, for now we're going to take a quick foray back into the journey of adventure games. And AGS games for that matter. I have no idea how well this will run, but I guess... Oh boy. Okay, it looks like it pauses when it's not in focus, that's good. So this is my chance to get it in the window capture. Yep, there we go. This game is called... Hello, Lizardman. The Shivah. And it's about Jews. That's the quick description for what this game is. And the fact that rabbis always answer with a question is quite a big part of it. And apparently it also has to do with depression. And the loss of hope and faith and such. This has a lot of religious themes, is what I'm trying to say. This is the demo version, yes. This is... oh boy. That sucks, Lizardman. This is the demo version of this game about Jews, and it was released originally in 2006. What sort of options do we have? I don't know what a kibitz mode is, so I'm going to leave it off for now. But apparently it is fully voiced, so let's have a look at this demo version, which began with a song. Oh yes.
Yitzir nivra liedna sava soko atzai melech shamonikra.
The Thief 2 theme song, yes.
Thank you, Cantor Kaplan. Today in my sermon I'd like to discuss suffering. Why do bad things happen to good people? Wherever there is pain, or oppression, or poverty, the question is always the same. How could God let this happen? Is God as good as we think? Can he, in fact, do evil? Maybe, on occasion, he even enjoys inflicting pain.
Well, is what's going on here really worth it?
No. I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Rabbi?
You heard.
Huh? What?
Go home, Mrs. Raymer.
Is it over already?
Yeah.
Rabbi Stone, wait! You can't just stop.
Sure I can. Just watch me.
But
It's over, Josh.
you can't mean that.
Look, you're a good kid. You got a good voice and a good future. Don't let me hold you back. Now do a mitzvah and call Mrs. Raymer a cab. Goodbye, Josh.
So things aren't going very well in the world of Jews. That is New York City, apparently. This guy's doing the questioning thing. But suddenly, there's a knock on the door. We can give the brush off, state the obvious, or declare our intentions. So let's state the obvious.
Services are canceled.
Oh boy. I can restate the obvious.
I repeat, services are canceled.
Hello, Ben. We can try giving the brush off,
Go away.
which doesn't work.
I said, go away.
So might as well declare our intentions since we're running out of options.
Leave me alone.
But that doesn't work either.
Leave me alone, I said. Fine, I'm coming.
So we have no choice but to actually pay attention to the person knocking on the door. Small supply of kiddish wine, crawl space for old store records. A window. Bill's chair. And some certificates and diplomas. Benai Brith
Has it really
Yeshua.
been 30 years?
It seems so. The Jews constitute about 1% of the human race. Says Mark Twain, apparently. But might as well check out what's going on with the door.
I thought I told you to go home.
Oh, it's a cantor.
Rabbi Stone, there's someone here.
Tell him to get lost. There's no service tonight.
No, it's a cop.
Huh?
Detective Sam Durkin,
Oh boy.
Midtown South Precinct. Could I talk to you for a few minutes, Rabbi Stone?
Sure, not Dick Tracy.
Is there some sort of problem, officer?
I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
Fine. Josh, take a hike. So, what can I do for you? I assume you're not here to convert.
Are you familiar with a Mr. Jack Lauder?
Should I be?
I'm asking the questions, Rabbi.
Fine. Let me think. Lauder. Oh,
You know him.
yeah.
What can you tell me about him?
He used to belong to this congregation.
Used to, but not anymore?
No. Left about 8 years ago, I think. What's this about?
Have you had any contact with him since?
No, I haven't. Care to fill me in here?
Do you read the papers?
And you might notice that with every question we get asked, we can pick from a variety of responses, but we always get the rabbinical response as an option, which is to respond to a question with a question. I would have thought that was the Socratic response, but you know, I guess that doesn't really fit the theme of this game, which is Jews, so whatever.
Who has the time?
So, you're not aware, Rabbi Stone, that Jack Lauder has been dead for 3 days?
So this is just apparently trying to emulate sort of noir theme
No.
with the
Does that
detective.
bother you?
Should it?
Answer me, Stone.
No.
So, you and Mr. Lauder weren't close?
No, we weren't. What's the deal, Durkin?
I've seen Lauder's will. He left you a significant amount of money.
So we can declare a surprise at apparently having money now. But we're going to go with the rabbinical response most of the time, I think.
He left me money? Is this a joke? Are you joking with me, detective?
Sounds like it.
No, I'm not joking.
How much?
I don't have the exact amount, but somewhere in excess of 10,000.
Yay.
It's the truth.
Jack wouldn't give me bubkiss, let alone $10,000.
Yiddish
And why is
TXT.
that, Rabbi Stone?
He just wouldn't.
Huh. This temple's in pretty sad shape, isn't it, Rabbi?
And yet...
Well, you're not blind, that's for sure.
Can you afford the repairs?
Let me guess, do I look like I can afford the repairs?
Do I look like
Yep.
I can afford it?
I'm just asking.
Oh, you're just asking. Well, I'm going to ask you to leave. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Rabbi Stone,
Get out of my office.
listen.
No, you listen. I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, you're a real mensch. Get out of here.
Fine. I'll leave, Rabbi Stone. But I'll be back.
Yeah, I bet you will.
I bet he will. So we have just kicked a detective out of our office, and we're spouting Yiddish words at him. That's quite a poetic way to put it, I suppose. Yeah, Jack Lauder. You know, it was raining against my window just a few minutes ago, but I didn't hear Jack Lauder, but I guess that's just me. Apparently the rabbi does know who Jack Lauder is, but he doesn't want to talk about it. But apparently that makes him nostalgic.
I need to think.
He needs to think. Maybe you get out of the office? Yeah, seriously. Can't you tell that I'm Jewish? Might as
Wow, Rabbi.
spell
What
it
was
out.
that all about?
Well, only one way to answer.
Didn't I tell you to go home?
Come on, Rabbi. I have to know. Who was killed?
Josh, what did I tell you about listening at my door?
I wasn't, Rabbi. Honest. You were just... very loud.
Huh.
So who was killed? Was it that Lauder guy?
That Lauder guy.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Who else could it be? I heard you talking about him.
We must have talked very loud.
Well, yeah. So who is he?
An old member of this congregation.
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, it happens to the best of us.
Are you gonna pay a Shiva call?
I don't think there will be a Shiva, Josh.
Why?
Shivas are for Jewish families. Just forget it.
Alright, if that's what you want. I guess I'll go now.
Yeah. Good night, Cantor.
Night, Rabbi.
Because we haven't seen any Jews yet, so obviously there can't be a Shiva. I mean, Jews? What is that? Such an alien concept to this game. So we did get money from the dead guy, but now we're under suspicion from the police.
Has God answered my prayers?
So, yeah. You know, religious debate. There's a lot of that in this, but... blood money.
I don't like it.
Well, it's really...
Not one bit. Why, Jack?
Oh dear.
Why me? Why now?
Well, only one way to do. Only one thing to do.
A Shivah call. I can't just barge in unannounced, but I can pay a Shivah call. It's the only way.
That's the name of this game, the Shivah. But we don't know where the guy lives, I don't think. So let's go on the computer and... Yep. But we don't know what our login is. We can try login. But it doesn't quite work. There's no user with the login. So what is the clue for what our login is? Well, in our inventory we have a business card. We're Rabbi Russell Stone from New York City's Synagogue. And we have a Yiddish dictionary, which we will need. I'm pretty sure Mensch is a German word, but it might have stemmed from Hebrew, I don't know. So, yes, we have Yenta. We will have to remember that one, a busybody. And, I think that's... Don't quite remember where the clue is for the computer login. Maybe we can get out of here. We can try getting out of the synagogue, but there's nowhere to go. Apparently we're on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. It's no wonder living is so expensive. And I played this before, so I know what the login is, but I don't really want to, do this without getting the clue, but I don't know where that is either. Window's not the kind that opens. How about help? Nope, there's no user with the login help. So how... oh boy. How do we determine what the login is? I actually don't remember. rstone@ravenetny.com. Actually, that might be the clue. rstone@ravenetny. How about rstone? Yeah, apparently that was the login. And we get a clue as to our password. Busybody, which in Yiddish is Yenta. So now we are logged in. We can check out a Jewish joke. Moish was talking to his psychiatrist. I think there's only one joke in the demo version. Yep. Because he talks to his psychiatrist about his mother, and the psychiatrist acts like his mother, so... We have some mail, but we're not going to read all this. What we are going to do is check out Jack Lauder. Contact information. Well, apparently we can just go into this database and find out where he lives. Yeah, and he was murdered, so that's why we're under suspicion. So let's go pay him a visit. Well, here is Greenwich Village. We can go to the Lauder residence. Yep, but that's where the demo ends.
No.
Time for the
I
ad
can't do this.
for the full game.
I'm sorry. I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
I'm just doing my job.
Show us what we've already
yeah, you're
seen.
a real mensch. Get out of here.
That's a great advertisement.
You have a lot of nerve coming here.
Sinister rivals. Bit of a
Why don't you
spoiler
just
there.
give up?
Why don't you just die?
Unknown dangers, it says. Such as holding a
Now,
guy up
do
by the
I
throat.
have your attention? You have two choices. You can answer my questions, or I throw you onto the tracks.
Our hero, everyone.
Hello?
And then he gets shot. Yep, you can buy the Shivah for $4.99, or at least you could. Back in 2006 when this came out. And, you know, as per usual, I suppose, for AGS games, the game closed itself. That was the demo, but never fear, because the game originally came out in 2006, I believe. But apparently it was so successful that there was an updated re-release in 2012 or 2013, I forget which year. So, actually wait a minute. In this little interlude, let me see if I can change the name of the game on my Twitch thing. Because Twitch doesn't like cooperating when it comes to changing what game you're playing for some reason. I hope OBS doesn't drop any frames while this is happening. Well, it says changing the game name thanks Twitch, which is what I put up there last time I was here. Hello. Twitch, could you please slow the player so I can tell it to pause? Because that sure would be a great thing if you could do that. Okay, that's one thing out of the way. Let me see if this game is in the Twitch games database. Apparently it is. That's kind of weird. I hope that changed. I have no way of confirming it. I don't need to have this open anymore. All this. If not, I suppose I'll have to do it in post, but that's not a big deal. So, you know, fortunately for all of us, I do have the updated re-release of the game, so we get to experience it in its full glory. Yes, don't even have to redo the window capture thing. So let's stop the music and restart this masterpiece, this Jewish masterpiece. I don't even know if the guy who made it is Jewish. But there sure are a lot of Jews in this game. So this is, yes, notice how the background for this little monologue is different. So here's our protagonist again. Yes, this is the Shivah Kosher edition, released 6 years after the original. We get our option, I don't know what Kibbutz mode is. Oh, it's a commentary apparently. Yeah, that looks okay. So let's start this adventure once again. This wonderful adventure into the world of Judaism.
Adon olam asher malach baterem kol yitzir nivra lied nasa v'chel tzoko atzai melech shemo nikra.
So okay, wait a second. I do notice a slight glitch in the window capture. Namely that there's a spazzing cursor, but I got rid of it, okay. Oh boy. So this scene is pretty much the same, except that the character portraits are static now, I think. They don't move their mouths. No,
Thank
they
you, Cantor
don't.
Kaplan. Today in my sermon, I'd like to discuss suffering. Why do bad things happen to good people? Wherever there is pain, the question is always the same. How could God... Is God as good as... Can he
Yeah, this is
on a...
the same speech, so I
I-
think I'm going to sort of skip through it.
No. I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Rabbi?
You heard.
Huh?
Go home.
Is it over already?
Yeah.
Rabbi Stone, wait! You can't just stop.
Sure I can.
But
It's over.
you can't.
Look, you're a good kid. Don't let me hold you back. Now do a mitzvah. Goodbye, Josh.
But the room looks kind of smaller now. Maybe it's because, well, this one looks bigger though. Because the character models are actually bigger this time. Oh boy. So we can go through this again.
Go away. I said services are canceled. I repeat, leave me alone. Fine, I'm coming.
And time to read the detective once more. Who also...
I thought
oh,
I
wait.
told you to
Rabbi Stone, there's someone here.
tell him to get lost.
No, it's a...
Yep, here he comes, and he looks different
Detective
now.
Sam Durkin,
He doesn't have
Midtown South Precinct.
the hat, but
Could I talk to you for a few minutes, Rabbi Stone?
I think the voice files are exactly the same, so... we went to the rabbinical response last time, so I guess we can use a different response now. Let's be sarcastic.
It's a free country.
Yeah, everyone's a comedian. Can you talk or not?
Fine. Josh, take a hike.
So back to the preordained
So,
dialogue
what can I do for you?
sequence.
I assume you're not here to...
Are you familiar with...
Should I be?
I'm asking the questions.
Fine. Lauder. Oh,
You know him.
yeah.
What can you tell me about him?
He used to belong to this congregation.
Used to, but not anymore?
No. Left about 8 years ago.
Have you had any contact?
No, I haven't.
Do you read the papers?
And we did the rabbinical response for this as well, so... Let's be aggressive. Let's be a dick to this cop. That couldn't possibly backfire.
Just tell me what's going on.
I'll take that as a no. So, you're not aware, Rabbi Stone, that Jack Lauder has been dead?
Yeah, and he's still convinced that the...
Does that bother you?
Should it?
Answer me, Stone.
No.
So, you and Mr. Lauder weren't close?
No, we weren't.
I've seen Lauder's will. He left you a significant...
So the cop's still trying to get us to cough something up, but... We got money from the guy's death.
Huh?
You heard me.
How much?
I don't have the exact amount.
Bull.
It's the truth.
Jack wouldn't give me bubkiss.
And why is that?
He just wouldn't.
Huh.
And the cigarette, that too.
This temple's in pretty sad shape.
Well, you're not blind.
Can you afford the repairs?
Let's keep being aggressive.
Well, look who's Mr. Clever.
Rabbi Stone.
Quiet. I don't know who you are, but I think you'd better leave before I do something we'll both regret.
That's a great
Rabbi,
thing to say to a cop.
Done talking. Get out of my office.
Listen,
No, you. I know where this is going, and I don't like it.
I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, you're a real mensch.
Fine.
Yeah, I bet.
So the cop managed to get shooed out of the office. Not before taking one final puff of the cigarette.
But
Yeah, this is a Shivah. Yeah, apparently the rain, which we can't see, still says Jack Lauder, Jack Lauder. And I think the cantor is going to... yeah, we need to talk to the cantor one more time before we can get started, I think.
Wow, What's that all about?
Might as well brush off this time.
nothing.
Nothing. Someone was murdered.
Josh, what did I tell you?
I wasn't, Rab. You were just... So who was killed? Was it that Lauder?
incredulous we can try to sound, but
How do you know that name?
Well, I heard you.
We must have talked very loud.
Well, so who is he?
An old member of this congregation.
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah, well,
Are you gonna pay a Shiva call?
I don't think there will be a Shiva.
Why?
Shivas are for Jewish. Just forget it.
Alright, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Night, Rabbi.
yeah, it is a paid game. You can get a demo version, but the actual game does cost money.
Has God answered my prayers?
Yeah.
I don't like.
He likes some money, but he doesn't like how he got
me?
it. Just by the guy getting murdered. And he's under suspicion from the police, so he's going to try to solve the case, even though he's just a rabbi.
A Shiva. I can't just barge in on it, but I can't. It's the only way.
Yep, you can right-click and hold to show all the items on the screen, as shown here. It's quite a handy mechanic that I don't think was in the original version. Oh yeah, I just did that, thank you game. You can look at stuff, you can look at your business card. Our stone at Ravnet, that's the first clue. You got your Yiddish dictionary. Has one more entry, I think, Goy. And I think you can check out more stuff now. Yeah, the crawl space isn't covered up now.
Has it really been 30 years?
You can look at the diplomas and the posters. Yeah. Mark Twain says the Jews are only 1% of the human population. Ah, but now there's... the bills are on the table instead of to the side of the computer. I don't think this table was in the original. All the stuff on here was just over here. So we can inspect the computer. Yeah, the Blackwell games. We'll get to those soon enough, since I do like those. But you get the same clue. Your login is R Stone, your clue is busybody, which is Yenta in Yiddish. You can get a joke, which is about the psychiatrist and the mother. And now we can look at our mail, since now it's actually relevant. Oh boy. Yeah, I understand this game is pretty popular among Jews though. For some reason. So our bank account is not really doing that well. It's almost $2,000 into overdraft. And if we don't submit a difference of nearly $1,000, we can get our credit rating damaged, so that's not good. We're not doing too well financially, but... and someone's leaving, but that's because they don't think we're a very good leader. Yep. Our electrical service is going to be terminated. For your network protection needs, contact Tomo. That's a recurring message that appears in, I think, all of Dave Gilbert's games. Who made this? And Jeremy Brooks says, apparently our sermons are very upsetting. This is a little plug from the guy who made the game, put into his own game. That's great. Lisa Schwartz says, yeah, they don't like the way we talk. Apparently we're very abrasive. Yeah, the cantor we can change the password, but I don't think we can change the password, actually. It's not something that we can do in-game. And we get a welcome notice to, to this little online thing. But the reason we went online was to search up the guy that just died. Downfall? I don't know. That doesn't really sound familiar. So we can read about the murder, which we just heard about from the police, or we can check out his contact information, which is in this database for some reason. So that's quite a handy piece of information. So apparently our inventory is divided into items and clues, of which we have none. So let's get out into the city and see what this is all about. Now we can go to Greenwich Village, to the Lauder residence, and get answered by this woman.
Mrs. Lauder,
Yes?
I heard about your husband. I came to pay my respects.
Oh, you knew Jack?
And since we haven't gone through this part, I think we're going to go with the rabbinical response whenever we can.
Does one need to know a man in order to grieve him?
That's, I suppose not. All right, come on in. I'm sorry, you look so familiar, but I can't place your face. What is your name?
Might as well be rabbinical again. Even though it might not be the best idea, as admitted by the guy.
You don't remember me? 8 years ago, Rabbi Russell Stone?
Oh, I remember now. You have a lot of nerve coming here.
So she doesn't like us for some reason.
Why do you think that, Mrs. Lauder?
Oh, don't give me that. I know all about those tricks. Answering a question with a question. Jack did it all the time.
I'd like to think he learned it from me.
It's too late for that, Rabbi. Way too late. What do you want?
I suppose the rabbi could cosplay as Socrates if the chance ever came up.
Do I need to have a reason to pay a Shivah call?
Huh, if it's you, yes. Oh, stop it. Just stop it. I don't believe this. You threw us out of your temple 8 years ago. And now you drop by for a visit?
It wasn't like that.
Well, what was it then? Can you tell me that?
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Maybe.
Maybe you're right. And yet you're here. Why?
Well, because we like to take the rabbinical approach to things, of course.
Why would the police come speak to me, Mrs. Lauder?
I have no idea. What did they say?
That I'm suspect number 1.
Really? Well, that would make sense. Who else has a motive except for the rabbi who hates us?
Well, I can think of a few people, but I guess we're going to be rabbinical about it and not outright admit it.
Why do you think I hate you, Mrs. Lauder?
Enough. Do you have to do that here? Now? There is a time and a place, Rabbi, and this is not it.
Look, I don't hate
Whatever. Jack hated you. That's enough.
Mrs. Lauder. If he hated me so much, why did he leave me $10,000 in his will?
That's impossible.
I said the same thing.
Jack wouldn't do that.
It's a crazy world.
How do you know for sure?
The police told me. I have no love of the police, but I doubt they'd lie about that. Mrs. Lauder, if Jack hated me so much, why did he give me so much money?
I don't know. This makes no sense. None of it does. Who would kill Jack? He was a good man.
Yes, he was.
Don't you start. You have no idea.
The police have no other leads?
Aside from you? No.
How did he die?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Well, I suppose I'm curious, and I'd like to help.
Yep.
Help? Why would you want to help?
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, we're going to play detective. So we don't know which one of these is the rabbinical response, I guess. But we can pick one of these. Might as well pick the last one, since that's usually where the rabbinical response is.
Maybe I feel guilty. I can't take Jack's 10 grand without doing something to earn it first.
Oh, that's rich. You come in here, puffed up and arrogant and sputtering platitudes, and now you want to help.
Yes, if you'll have me.
Forget it. Keep the 10 grand, I don't care. Just get out. I don't want to see or hear from you ever again.
But
Leave! Or so help me, I will call the police.
as you wish. I'm sorry to have troubled you, Mrs. Lauder.
Just go.
So we can't check out her apartment. We can't talk to her. Oh boy. Apparently we messed up. And she called the police on us. And we got arrested. So I think we lost the game. Yes, apparently that really wasn't how that was supposed to go. So let's try that one more time, why don't we? Looks though like we're going to have to do the whole beginning section over again. Because we didn't save. Unless we can continue. Oh wait, I think we might be able to. So apparently this game does autosave, that's pretty nifty.
Mrs.
Yes?
I heard.
Oh,
So that's quite nice. Might as well not do the rabbinical responses this time.
Some time ago, yes.
all right. Come on in. I'm sorry, you look so familiar, but I can't place your... What is your...
So might as well not be a dick this time. Let's be honest, I suppose.
My name is Rabbi Russell Stone. Your husband used to be a member of my congregation.
Oh, I remember now. You...
Yeah, we've heard that. So might as well try being apologetic.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry. I'm so glad to... Jack would love to hear that.
He knows already.
Too late. What do you want?
Direct approach.
I just want to talk about Jack.
Talk. Just came by for a friendly chat. Oh, stop it. Just stop it. I don't believe... You threw us out of your temple, and now...
It wasn't like that.
Well, what was it then? Can you tell me that?
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Maybe, and yet...
Well,
What?
we've had this. But I think being honest will help us in the long run, so...
The police visited me today.
Did they?
Yes,
What did they say?
that I'm suspect number 1.
Really? Well, that... Who else?
Let's keep being honest.
I'll let that slide.
Whatever. Jack hated you.
Mrs. Lauder, if he hated me so much, why did he leave me?
That's
I said the same thing.
Jack would...
It's a...
How...
I have... Mrs. If...
This make none of... Who would... He was a...
Yes.
Don't...
The police... How did
I don't...
I suppose... And
Why...
I don't know, maybe...
So, okay, time to pick the not game over option this time. I want to make amends. I think that's it.
Maybe I'm looking to make amends for what happened 8 years ago.
Why not? Why shouldn't a rabbi play at being detective? You want to investigate, Rabbi Stone? Be my guest.
I'll have to ask you some questions about what happened.
Can't you just ask the police?
They won't talk to me. I'm a suspect.
Fine. Fine. Ask whatever you want.
Oh, hello, Urotsuki. So, she finally decided to not hate us. And now we can ask her about all these things. So let's begin our questioning session.
How did Jack die?
He was shot right in the head at close range, according to the police.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Lauder.
He was in the showroom, working late. That's all I know.
How's business?
What business was your husband in?
We were in business together. Fashion design, high-end casual wear. Shirts, blouses, slacks. I'd design and he'd sell.
So before we ask about that business, might as well ask about the mirror that's covered up.
You've covered up the mirror.
Yes, it's what you are supposed to do, right?
Well, yes, but
I know. I'm not Jewish. I'm probably doing it all wrong, but it feels right. Is it right, Rabbi?
So we can be a dick, we can be comforting, or we can be rabbinical.
Do you think it's all right?
I don't know. That's why I asked you. Forget it.
So she didn't take it that well. So how's her state of mind?
How are you holding up, Mrs. Lauder?
Fine. As well as can be expected.
Fair enough. So now we can ask her about her business.
Was the business successful?
We did all right. It was tough at first, but things have been picking up over the last few years. We sell to mainly boutique stores, but Macy's has bought several pieces from us, and Saks was interested.
That sounds good. I went to Macy's once, but I'm not entirely certain what Saks is.
And what happens to the business now? Are you going to run it by yourself?
I guess I could, but not right away. And definitely not in that same showroom.
I can understand that. Where is your showroom?
Why? Do you want to have a look?
It can't hurt.
Oh, this is crazy. Do you really want to do this?
Yes.
Sure, if you want to have a look, go ahead. Just because trained police officers couldn't find anything doesn't mean a rabbi can't. The building is 1407 Broadway, room 903.
Okay. So now we're being allowed to play detective, even by her who hates us, kind of. So what is the company name anyway?
What is the name of your business?
Charming Fashion Company.
Charming.
Yeah, it's a strange name, but it has meaning behind it. It's based on my family's name, Sarma, and it sounds like charming.
I get it. Real cute.
So apparently he doesn't think much of that little wordplay. We have charming in our notes now, we can ask her about it.
Can you tell me about your company again?
Sure. What do you want to know?
But it just brings up all these questions again that we already asked, so... Not much of a point to go through that again, so let's just leave.
I'm going to leave now. I'll see what else I can discover.
Thanks, I guess. Rabbi Stone,
Yes?
about 8 years ago, could you just tell me why?
Were you and Jack happy?
Yes. Yes, we were.
Then my reasons don't matter.
Well, that went a little better than the first time in which we lost the game. So apparently our synagogue, for those who haven't been following that closely because of how fast everything's going, is on the Lower East Side. And I say no wonder, if that's what it is, no wonder the guy has trouble paying for it. Must be pretty expensive to have a building there. I think it's one of the most expensive places to live in the world, and Lauder lived in Greenwich Village, and now we're going to the garment district to check out the showroom that this woman has. Well, and I guess to address some of the things that the chat is saying, this isn't really related to Ben Jordan, but it is made in the same engine as the Ben Jordan games, which is Adventure Game Studio, which a lot of sort of indie adventure games are made in, because the engine is free and you can do quite a lot of stuff with it. And, well, not much else to say. That's a woman. That looks kind of like a stick with a hat on top of it, but I don't know. It's like a mannequin, except it's kind of, instead of a head it has a stick, but I don't know if that's what they intended. So this place doesn't look that interesting. But we can check out the everything that's in the room. That's handy mechanic. Photo over here, what is this about? Don't forget anniversary flowers. Junk on the shelf and a computer. But I don't think we know the password actually. I don't think we can get into this computer just yet. And I'm not entirely certain there's any clues that we can get from this place. Oops. So our sharp and ingenious rabbi hero here is giving us his opinion on everything he sees, even though, despite the fact that he doesn't really know anything about fashion, self-admittedly. We can inspect everything, and I guess it would be a good time to mention that I did look up a walkthrough for this game, but I couldn't find one, so I'm sort of doing this legit, or kosher, as it were. That's topical. And I do admit that I'm not entirely certain what to do here. Or if there's any sort of hint system. And Lizardman's going to bed. Good night, Lizardman. I think what you do is go back to the rabbi's computer in his synagogue. And look up stuff there. How about charming? Charming fashion. Yeah, the garment district. I don't think that says anything we didn't already know, though. You can search for Sarma. Apparently, that Sarma only gives one result. In the whole of the New York Jewish network, there's only one thing that matches Sarma. That's interesting. And Lauder, which we've already searched for. Yeah, Jack Lauder. So I kind of at a standstill right now, I guess. Can find some pieces of information, but nothing that's really useful. So let's go back to talk to this woman, I suppose. Yep, this game is all about
This is Lon.
Oh, come on.
all about the Jews, so you'll see a lot of stuff like that. Doesn't look like we can ask her about what we're trying to find out, though.
What business?
We were in Fash.
What is...
Yeah, it's big and it's
real.
So we can sort of exhaust the conversation tree. But we've gone through all of this already, so
I'm going to...
not much of a point. Might as well go back to this place. Might be something that we missed. Though I can't imagine what it would be. We've looked at all this stuff. We have our inventory and no, done. So we might have another try to crack into this computer. Oh, apparently the password was Sarma. That's kind of unsafe to have your wife's last name as the password for a computer, but whatever, because now we've totally hacked this thing. We are a modern hacker. This is totally what hacking entails, just password guessing. And R Stone does not exist in RevNet. Oh, RSTNOE. So apparently the guy tried to send us a message, but he couldn't because he fucked up our username. Oh, hello, Steve. And Yuye. Tex Murphy. I'm not entirely certain what that is, but The guy that died wrote to us, but we didn't get to see it until now. Apparently we really hated him and his wife. That's why we threw them out of the congregation. They went to another temple, but he really wants to make amends, apparently. He was trying to be Jewish, but he didn't quite succeed. But we can try to check out the other people he was in contact with. There was someone called Ethan G. Orchestra tickets from her wife, whose first name is apparently Rajshri. Here's Tomo again. Apparently he was contacting someone called Ethan G. Someone called Kenny. Something isn't right with some deal he was making. That's fishy. Could it be Goldwater? I suppose it could be, unless that's like a famous restaurant that I know nothing about, which wouldn't surprise me or something, but apparently there was trouble. They were meeting with JDM, whoever that is. JDM? A rotten deal. So I think we've added that to our clues, but we can't check them while we're on the computer, but money transfer, and that was just before he sent his message to us. So there was some... he has an e-ledger, I suppose, too. So Joe DeMarco, GDM. I wonder if that's related. Oh, it's a Soviet duck. Well, that's nice. And Jack hired an accounting firm. Got Goldwater and Goldberg as potential G last names. Yeah, they sold stuff to Macy's. Moda off Broadway. And apparently a lot of personal checks written to Joe DeMarco. Whoever that is. They sold to Grayson Sportswear, to a shipping company. More checks to DeMarco. And the accounting firm. And suddenly Beth Tikva. So we have a few things to look into now. We have Beth Tikva, we have all those companies, we have Joe DeMarco. And we can combine clues. Yep. It doesn't look like there's much to do with the ones we have right now, though. But we could go back to the woman. Yeah, totally. And ask her about these names we've discovered.
Oh, come on.
Yes, I am back. I'm sure you're delighted to see me. So, who was Ethan G? Apparently he was doing accounting for your husband.
Do you know if your husband did any business with a man named Ethan?
Ethan. Ethan. The name sounds familiar, but I can't place it. I'm sorry. To be honest, I didn't really keep up with the business side of things. Is he involved?
Hard to say.
So she doesn't know, that's not good. What about Joe DeMarco?
Have you ever heard of Marco?
Joe? Joe. Yes, I've heard of Joe. He was one of our first investors.
He invested in Sherman?
Yes.
Why did you need an investor?
Well, we didn't have much money to start the business with. All the banks saw us as a poor risk, so we needed independent investors.
Have you ever met Joe?
Jack handled the money stuff. Although I know Jack didn't like him.
Why not?
He didn't say, he just didn't like him. But we were desperate, so we had no choice.
How did they meet each other?
I think they were introduced. At the temple of all places.
At temple? So Joe DeMarco is Jewish?
Maybe. Why?
DeMarco is not a very Jewish name.
And that's important to you, is it?
Not to me, no.
Why would it
But
be?
it's certainly significant.
Joe Jewish, well. So the people who came in sort of not long ago might not have noticed, but this is in fact Juice the Game, 2012 edition. So we can ask more things about this not Jewish sounding guy.
Do you know anything about Ethan G meeting up with Joe DeMarco?
Ethan G? The name sounds very familiar, but I can't place it. I'm sorry.
Yes, the Jewish Illuminati.
You really think Joe DeMarco is Jewish?
I told you, I have no idea.
So, I suppose that's all we can do here.
I'm going to leave now. I'll see what else I can discover.
Thanks.
So back to the research center, I suppose it is.